And in the locker room, each guy has been going over and through his own routine to get ready. But once they take the floor, they're one single unit. Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday, hump day, and we're ready to bring you all the action. This is Kevin Harlan with Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. Giving us the rundown from the sideline courtside, David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
Thanks very much. Now, you may ask why Scotty Barnes is so competitive. He says it started while I was young. I had two brothers, and we always wanted to be better than each other. We just competed. As a kid, I just wanted to beat other people, no matter what it was. Kevin, whether it was foot races or basketball, he's still getting after it. Back to you.
He has. Not much has changed, has it, DA? Thank you. And coming down the stretch here, Greg, a lot left to decide, especially for teams on the playoff bubble.
And Kevin, the play-in tournaments add another level of complexity. I'll say this, the league now has more teams fighting all the way to the end.
So let's take a look at the Toronto Raptors starting lineup. The forwards are Barnes and Siakam. Red Van Vliet out there with OG Anunoby. And it's Pirtle in at the center, filling out the middle. And for the Wizards, Morris and Beal are the guards. Porzingis is out there with Kyle Kuzma, and it's Gafford in at the 5. Now, here's Anunoby. Barnes looking around. Toronto gets it back with a new 14. There's the triple. That one's not going to go. Kuzma against Barnes. From 13, Kuzma can't get it to go. Toronto's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Pass to Van Vliet. Here's Anunoby. The pass to Barnes. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Clock at 4. Fires it up. They get it back. Pirtle. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Well, for a player with Pirtle's size, that type of play he needs to make. Get inside, draw contact, get to the line, be physical. Love it.
Toronto shooting their first free throws of the game.
Yeah, and over the course of the season, they're a respectable 78%. That comes in handy in close games.
And the first one drops.
You know, over the last couple seasons, it feels like the Washington Wizards roster is in constant flux. I mean, from role players to all-stars, guys coming in and out.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. For Washington, how difficult, Greg, is it to win when your roster changes, as you were just talking about? It changes so much from year to year.
It's really tough. I mean, take Spencer Dinwiddie. You know, he signs a big 3-year deal, traded 6 months later. So when things like that happen, it's so difficult to create chemistry.
The shot's good from Gafford. And now another look at that great drive and finish, brought to you by Mobile One.
Nice take. Staying aggressive with this game, still very much up in the air.
Pass to Anunoby. Back to Van Vliet. And so just over a minute and a half played.
And this is a shot he can definitely make, and the defense not a factor at all.
Kuzma finds Morris. Siakam against Porzingis. Beal from long range. The shot, no good. Now Toronto takes it the other way. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
Yeah, in that game, I thought they took advantage of some sloppy play, but give them credit. They turned mistakes into points.
Well, you have to capitalize when your opponent has miscues, and give this team some credit. Every time that opponent turned it over, they capitalized.
Here's Morris, following the basket by Scotty Barnes. That one drops for him.
Well, off the screen, you can see Bradley Beal is shot ready. That is how you do it.
Barnes outside. Anunoby passes to Pirtle. Van Vliet with it. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
Morris with the bucket.
You can see the level of attention Bradley Beal draws. This guy is so heady finding the open teammate.
Siakam inside. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Second personal foul.
The Raptors shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
Shooting for Toronto, Pascal Siakam at the line for 2.
Throw good, Siakam.
Boy, the evolution of Pascal Siakam has been such a pleasure to watch. The work ethic is commendable, and he's learning how to be a leader, guys.
He hits both from the stripe. 6 seconds left in the first quarter. With 1 on the clock. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Raptors lead by 1. They'll be back shortly, live from Washington.
DC family, a big round of applause.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And guys, what's your take on Toronto so far?
They've gotten to the line with tremendous consistency here through the first period.
And this is why coaches say be aggressive. As long as you're playing smart, good things tend to happen, even if you're on the road.
Well, we know the NBA has worked to get rid of the hard foul doors, and the league has done a great job of doing that. What has contributed, though, to that line of thinking?
Well, I think any play can be reviewed, Kevin, and that's a good thing because if it's a non-basketball play, then you open yourself up to a flagrant 2. The punishment is significant enough to discourage the action. I love the rule changes as it relates to this particular infraction.
They've got Porzingis, Kendrick Nunn out there with Wright. Then it's Avdia, and it's Kispert in at the small forward position. That's the group start in the second quarter for the Wizards. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Now, Kristaps Porzingis famously earned the nickname the Unicorn for his combination of size and skill. Former All-Star, injuries have held him back. But now a new team presents a new opportunity. KP says, I'm going to take my game to the next level because my body is going to be healthy, and that's it. Well, Kevin, let's hope so.
Absolutely. He has had injuries along the way, but the talent is obvious. David, thanks.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And the Raptors doors with one of the elite front offices recognized in the NBA.
And Kevin, because of that, a highly paid one as well. Remember, a recruitment battle, not just with the NBA, but English soccer, to keep their leadership intact. But the track record is there to justify that top billing, no doubt about it.
Here's what Washington's going with right now.
For the Wizards,
Beal comes in for Kendrick Nunn. And Morris subbed in for DeLon Wright.
shooting 1.
And staying healthy for Porzingis has been a challenge over his career. Not uncommon for players standing well above 7 feet.
Now here's Van Vliet. With an average of around 19.5 points a game, his scoring has been a constant for them. Trent outside. Anunoby has the open look. That 3 off the mark. And in New York, even before his injuries, the front office voiced concerns about Porzingis's ability to stay healthy.
Well, the track record for players 7-2 and up, not great. And today's game demands more movement from big men than ever before.
Of course, when it comes to Avdia, a guy that does a number of things very well.
He does, Kevin. I think when you think of Avdia, what you think is three-tool player. Score, rebound, pass it. For Denny, to me, it's all about being more consistent. It is clear this guy has a ton of talent and potential. Now can you do it night after night after night?
The first free throw is good.
Well, the Washington Wizards trying to get their organization on track. I think bringing in Wes Unseld to lead that coaching staff is critical. Maintaining your tie to Bradley Beal is equally important. But boy, guys, it has been a while since they've had real success. Their last finals trip, 1979.
Daniel Gafford's checked in for the Wizards. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Kispert. And Doris, what do you think the Wizards need to make a deeper run at the playoffs?
Well, ambition is certainly a good place to start, but you have got to understand this is a process. And I think the change in management, the change in head coaching position, and the acquisition of someone like Kyle Kuzma, who's a multi-positional wing player that's important. Still a lot of questions for this organization. Trent
can't hit. Wizards leading by 6. Here's Beal. Yep, that one goes in there. Beal's got his second basket.
Well, Bradley Beal has become such a good playmaker, finishing through contact. That is beautiful.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Offensive rebound. And the shot's good from Boucher.
And the D getting outworked there on the putback. Can't let that happen.
You have got to put a body on somebody. We talk about it ad nauseum, but you've got to be disciplined with the box outs.
Snatched up. Gafford. And Boucher sends it back. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Passes it to Trent. Now Boucher. 6 to shoot. Trent outside. From deep. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the Washington Wizards with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much. Here with Nick Nurse. Coach, the efficiency wasn't there in the first half. What adjustments do you need to make?
I thought we got pretty good shots, you know, and if we're not going to score, it makes getting our defense set up difficult. So we got to keep shooting them. Hopefully we start making some of them.
You can't score until you shoot, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. A pretty close game for the Wizards throughout the first quarter. Their field goal percentage was a robust 50% in the period. That's something they can hang their hat on. What a second quarter for them. They're up by 6 at the break. A nice lead. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Wizards.
They were simply the better team on the offensive end. Every time the defense made an adjustment, they would make an adjustment on offense. Winning that little cat and mouse game, they'll be difficult to beat.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on Toronto?
Well, their paint presence was non-existent. They haven't put any pressure on the defense in terms of attacking the cup. It's simple. If you want to be successful in this league, you can't be a one-dimensional jump shooting team.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
DC family.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. So it's Beal. He'll bring it up for the Washington Wizards. 6-point lead. And on the floor for Nick Nurse as we get into the second half. The forwards are Barnes and Siakam. Fred VanVleet out there with Anunoby. And it's Pirtle in at the 5, home in the paint. Greg, when you look at Toronto, they have a lot of length and defensive switchability.
They swarm opposing stars and tend to make it very difficult in those passing lanes. So a great profile for a modern NBA defense.
Here's Kuzma. Following the basket by Pascal Siakam. Morris with the ball. Headed now by Barnes. And there's a whistle that goes on Scotty Barnes.
First team.
That's his first foul. And that replay showed just how forceful that block was.
And in a close game, blocks like that are so clutch, and that could be a real difference maker here tonight.
Pass to Beal. Kuzma outside. Here's Porzingis. Another shot.
How about the defense of Pascal Siakam? This guy likes making it tough on the offensive player.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Now here's VanVleet. Over Morris. VanVleet can't get it to go. Washington leading now by 6. GA, he's asked to carry a big-time scoring load, but Bradley Beal makes his teammates better as well.
And that's an area, Kevin, he has really grown. And his playmaking, when the defense overcommits, you make them pay with the pass. Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
And he's got his first free throw of the game. First free throw is good.
The Raptors are only a few years removed from its championship in 2019. Boy, a lot has changed since then.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Kispert's checked in for Porzingis. Kendrick Nunn comes in for Bradley Beal. And it's Wright in for Monte Morris. Achua, he's checked in for the Raptors. He's off on the second. A lot of change. Toronto is without some of the key pieces from that title team, and it wasn't that long ago. But, Greg, they haven't had to go through a full rebuild. There are some remaining parts.
Listen, the talent they have is still undeniable, and they've got a good mix of young up-and-comers and players in the prime of their career.
And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. A busy few years for Nick Nurse. In 2019, he helped lead the Raptors to the title, and he was the 2020 Coach of the Year. He says, it means a lot to me that this city and this country loves this team so much, we can go out there and give them something to be proud of. Of course, Kevin, he's been a key part of that success. Back to you.
Maybe the single most important part of their success, DA. Thank you so much.
DeLon Wright proving that he is an excellent decision maker on the offensive end. Teammate open, let me find him.
Now the pass to Anunoby. Barnes with it. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Shot to stop the run. And the rejection by Gafford. Just 3 to shoot. Second chance shot. Here's Siakam. And at last, they get one to fall. Siakam's got 6. Wright looking around. Kuzma, right side. The second chance effort. And it's good on the way in. Kuzma's got the lead up to 11 now for the Wizards.
To me, that's about two things, guys. That's the hustle and timing of Kyle Kuzma getting to the offensive window.
And so it's Washington. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
I'll tell you, in today's game, you want skill and decision-making at every position.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Morris and Beal are the guards. Kispert is out there with Avdia. And it's Gafford in at the center position. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Morris outside. Pass to Gafford. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jakob Poeltl. That is his first foul of the game. Wizards making a switch here. Porzingis is checked in.
Into the lineup for your Wizards, Kristaps Porzingis.
Beal against Trent. Beal the pass to Avdia. Shot clock at 6. The Wizards working the ball around now. And that one is good from Bradley Beal.
Well, this is how Bradley Beal just makes it impossible to guard him. 3-level scorer. This time he goes to the inside.
And the Raptors call time here. And the play-in tournament, Greg, is here to stay, but the terminology is somewhat in limbo. Is that going to be part of the playoffs?
You hear people say it's not the playoffs, it's the play-in. Maybe the term postseason should cover both the play-in and the playoff. Something to think about.
Send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Nick Nurse told his team. He said, do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back.
That's David.
Now you see the wherewithal of Fred VanVleet. Finds the soft spot in the defense and converts.
And that was another look at the fantastic Mobile One drive that happened a moment ago.
It's all about the ability to get 2 feet in the paint, whether it's creating for a teammate or for yourself.
Now here's Beal over Trent, and Poeltl sends it back, and they recover it. Morris passes to Avdia. Here's Beal. That one wide left. Raptors trail by 9. VanVleet outside. Morris with the rebound. And Morris has got the ball here for the Wizards. Passes it to Avdia. Now Gafford, covered by VanVleet. And it's in there. Gafford's got the lead up to 11 now for the Wizards.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Wizards.
If they had to battle for this win, there were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
And that's a product of their mental toughness. Anytime the flow of the game turned against them, instead of caving, they just dialed it up a notch and were able to pull away.
And so taking a look at their record, a nice milestone they'll be picking up tonight. 30 wins on the year now.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
Now, here's Avdia. Following the miss by Gary Trent Jr.
And once they smelled blood in the water, you could see the killer instinct take over.
And you want to save your best for last. Tonight, they've done that and then some.
No question who's been in control of this game.
Boy, they have really taken charge here.
And it's Monte Morris with the foul.
Monte Morris.
That's his first foul.
Personal
Really
foul.
just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Flynn against Wright. It's Young on the wing. Outside Flynn and stolen by Wright. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Please take care to get home
Guys,
safely.
thanks, Kyle Kuzma. Congrats on the win. What were you able to do successfully tonight?
I think as a team collectively, we just got stops and we kind of found a rhythm on offense, and I think we just got it done like that.
Well, that rhythm led to a W, man. Congrats. Back to you.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.